Okay, so I tried to do this earlier. And OBS disconnected me. It was exciting. It annoyed me greatly. Because of the way that YouTube works with their streaming, when OBS Studios stopped streaming and was trying to reconnect, YouTube said, okay, you're done streaming, so let's start processing it. And because it started processing the material that I had streamed earlier, my OBS never actually reconnected. I killed it and turned it all off, turned my laptop off, and just reset the whole thing. And so, because that happened, I deleted it before I finished processing. Yeah. So we're going to try it over. We're going to try this again. And the ultimate goal here... Bad. Unsupported resolution. I don't believe you. I don't believe you, YouTube. I don't believe that is an unsupported resolution. You know why I don't believe it? Because it works every time. But, in any case, so I went live earlier and I tried this and it messed up. It messed up badly. And earlier I tried this and I had to double check for audio. I mean, just... Okay, so audio seems good. In any case, I had started this earlier. I'm going to try and do this a little bit faster because this is unscripted, and I think I've learned a little bit on how to expedite this process from my first failure. Yeah, I'm calling it a failure because OBS decided to be a dick. In any case, the goal of what I'm trying to do is I'm going to be building a weapon and armor set that gives me it's roughly around 130% damage bonus at level 1. Now, there is a DLC. It's somewhere in here. Weapons and armor bundle right there. I'm actually going to be using some of the stuff from that weapons and armor bundle to make a little bit of money early game so that I can craft this stuff. So let's go ahead and get started. A few things to note really quickly. I will be allowing the cinematics to play through.
We were wrong, and only now, well into the second decade of the conflict, have we begun to understand the mistakes we have made. We lived in harmony among the Fae, in a world awakened to new magic. Perhaps we should have foreseen what might be born on this rising tide. What force might awaken. A force powerful enough to twist even the eternal and immutable Fae folk. But Gadflow, the new king of the Winter Court, surprised us all. Singular among his people, he was all that other Fae were not. Aggressive, ambitious, visionary. He had power like none we had ever seen, terrible and deadly. Gadflow and his followers, the Tuatha Deon, believed that a new god was to be born in the east, beneath Gadflow's crystalline fortress of Amathen. In the name of that god, they marched to war against the young races of Amalur. Against a mortal army, no matter the power of their god, we might have been victorious. But the Fae are creatures of magic, not bound by the laws of life and death. Each two Alpha fallen on the battlefield would soon rise again, for the Fae do not know death as we do. How could we stand against such a force? For 10 years the war raged. For 10 years the armies of men and Alpha fought and died. But as our numbers dwindled, we knew that it was only a matter of time. Our fate had been written. At least, that is what we believed. Until you died.
Nice little setup there. I have a few things to note before I actually start getting started on this. One of the main things being that my goal today is to build my armor set and my weapon set using the blacksmith level 3 at level 1. It's character level 1. And I have an ingredients list. Talk over the music, so I'm not going to fight with it. Let's just let this get to the character creation, then I'll kind of touch on a few things.
This one is then Alpha, Baran, could even be a Jotun. Always a surprise, eh, Garan?
Eyes on the job, boy. Don't matter what it is. Dead's dead. And be thankful for that. All we've seen. Go on and pull back the sheet, though. It'll need to be in our report, one way or the other.
Alright, so let's go ahead and touch on a few things real fast. My goal of this is to create my armor set, which is going to be leather armor, and my weapons set, which there is some flexibility in what type of weapons you can use. I myself am going to build chakram and a bow. The ingredients list that I have in the description is leaning toward the chakram and bow. You can pick up the ingredients using the same exact method, using the same exact merchants that I'm going to use to get the other pieces to build the different weapons. The person I originally got this idea from, more than likely I will link their YouTube video in the description. The video is a couple years old. Biggest reason I'm doing this is because I have the Xbox 360 version, but I have heard that they are doing a remastered version for the Xbox One and the PlayStation 4. Supposedly around September 2020 is when it's supposed to come out. So this is something that you should still be able to do whenever the re-reckoning is what they're calling. Kings of Amalur, the re-reckoning, or Kingdoms of Amalur re-reckoning, not the re-reckoning, but as it were. So basically, as I said, the goal of today is going to be building the level 1 with 130% into build. So as I said, touch on a few things. You can do this with just about any character. However, you are going to need about a 3 in the blacksmithing skill. So if you choose one of these other characters that don't have one of the other races, that don't have the bonus for blacksmithing here that the All-Main does, you're going to have to level up higher than level 1. You're probably going to need about level 3 or level 4 in order to actually finish the weapons and gear. Not too difficult to do, just takes a little bit of extra time. It's not what I'm doing here today, but I am making a note that it can be done. Again, my ingredients list are more catered to the way that I play. Like I said, the chakrams and the bow. Not so much magic. I think I saw a fly. I have to kill it. Anyways, so because of the build I'm going for, you can pick different item pieces whenever you do your building of your weapons and armor. Different pieces will give you different bonuses. Like there's one that gives you the poison, the effect, give you the poison, the effect, the fire effect. Pretty sure I know there's a frost effect. I'm pretty sure there's an electric effect as well. You can build these weapons with those different effects, so that's why I'm just making a note right now that with this right here, you can actually choose under the fire god, and it would make sense if you're choosing the Almain because technically they're, you know, the blacksmithing build, and the blacksmithing build would probably worship either the fire or the war, which are the two that I would recommend for this particular build. I don't think it really matters too much, but considering all things, you kind of want to, I guess min-max would be the word I'm looking for here. I have chosen fire in the past, it works just as well, but I prefer the war because of the physical damage bonus you get. I'm going to be kind of quick about this part, because I kind of already know what I want. I'm trying to basically rebuild the character that I started with earlier on the last time I tried to stream this, and was basically shut out because fuck me in particular, right? No, I'm just kidding. My OBS decided to be a shit snake. Let's go with that. Let's go with the dark red stash here. And eyebrows to match it. Dark red. Okay. And I like those earrings. And the sun tattoo. Yep. There we go. Let's turn down the intensity so it's not so in your face there. Okay. Like I said, there's a lot of flexibility with this build. I took this idea from somebody else. I plan on doing it for level 1.
No, you can tell. Turn him over. See if there's a stick in his ass.
I like that line.
Make sure it goes into the report.
Gotta make sure that stick up his ass is in the report, right?
Amazing how well the body held up. Better than I've seen.
I'm just glad it's not moving. Must have been born under a lucky star, this one.
Anything else we need?
Unless you'd like to name him, I think we're done. Put him with the others.
Considering this next screen that pops up right about here, the guy writing up the report did in fact decide to name me. Shit. I'm just gonna go with the same name I chose last time. I'm gonna go with Chris. Right. Again.
Well, that's it for you then. Better luck next time.
So again, there is flexibility with this build. You can choose one of the other characters, but you'll have to level up some before you can upgrade your blacksmithing to level 3, which is something that you will need at one point. You need to break down a talisman for a particular enchantment. So there's a couple of prerequisites for this build. Most of them being you need to be blacksmith of 3. That's one of the big things here. You need a blacksmith of 3, and you need 1 point into each of the into each one of the skill trees, so that you can choose the fate card. It's basically the jack of all trades card. You want that one for the damage bonus as well. We'll get into that one a little bit more here in a minute. First, we're going to get through the beginning of this game again, because I spent almost a full 30 minutes on this last time. So we're going to do this a little bit faster. There we go. Hello, darkness, my old friend. So I am going to be going through a lot of the cutscenes, but I'm not going to be emphasizing on a lot of the lore papers around the world. There is a lot of that. I am no expert at this game, but it is very fun. I highly recommend. I am waiting for the remaster. For sure, for sure. But, all things considered, I am going to be paying attention to cinematic cutscenes for people who haven't played this game before. Maybe they want a little bit of intro on the story You know? So, I was waiting on him to do a fucking dive attack. He keeps taking 2 or 3 steps back, but I just keep bobbing and weaving on him. Just kind of like collapse behind me. It always just sounds like everything's collapsing behind me constantly. I'm trying to make as much money as I can, so I am breaking pretty much everything I come across.
You! Up there! Please help me! Please!
More mortals come.
Nope. Nope. No, sir. Ow! Okay, there's no way you were able to turn your heavy-ass sword that fast. Nope. Okay. I'm doing a lot worse this time than I did last time. Nope. Nope. Don't get up. Thought you were dead there for a second. Alright, now, what's his name's gonna run up to me here in a second. Just clear out some of this stuff.
Thank you. If you hadn't come along that way, I've seen you before. On the slab, you were dead. It
Was I?
worked. By the dome, it worked.
Were you the one that named me? Or are you the one that said I had a stick up my butt? You mean I'm not dead?
No, clearly not anymore. But you were. The Well of Souls remade your body. We thought you were another failure. But the Well restored your soul to your body, and it worked. We must get you to Professor Hughes right away. He'll have questions for you.
I've kind of got questions too.
Oh my, you don't know? Perhaps the process damaged your memory. They are the Tuatha Deo, the enemies of all the young races. We've never seen them this far inland, not even during the invasion. I don't know why they are here. Hughes may have the answer to that as well. You must stay alive.
I believe I might actually have something to do with that. I am pretty sure.
Professor Formerus Hughes. The Well of Souls is his life's work. The Tuatha are coming in through the lower levels. If
Those
we
are some
hurry, we'll
big-ass
be able to
ears,
beat them
dude.
To the top. Take these. They'll help keep you safe.
Look at those
long
fucking
enough to
things.
get to Hughes. Now, let's get going.
All right. Also, if you notice, we're mustache twins. Let's go ahead and clear these guys out.
Right this way. You go first.
Didn't work. I'll go first, but like, I want to check on all this shit first. Ooh, yeah. $10 gold. All right. Not a big profit, but it will help later on because there's a couple of things we're gonna have to get. So let's go ahead. We're gonna put on some of the armor that we have acquired because it gives us the critical bonus damage. All the stuff I'm taking off, I'm immediately adding to the junk pile because later on I'll have opportunity to sell some stuff.
This is what they're after. Our greatest invention. The Well of Souls.
And whenever I sell some stuff,
An end to death.
when I sell some stuff, it will be easier. Hello there. When I sell some stuff, it'll be easier to sell it in bulk if I just label it as junk. So you'll see me periodically be placing stuff in the junk pile. That's just me. I'm just somewhat neurotic.
Find anything useful.
Yep, definitely looking for useful stuff, that's for sure. Just gonna Smash everything. And the shield over there is the last thing we're gonna take. This is actually about the time where I lost my OBS connection last time. So I am watching it carefully right now. Just a subtle glance over the side every now and again. Oh, here's my phone and the notification. And the light's flickering. Been kind of cloudy today. I was hoping for some rain. I'm kind of watching for it. But also, really don't want to see a thunderstorm right now. Because that might mess up my stream. I don't care about the block efficiency. I like my critical damage. That's more important to me right now. I don't like the star just floating there. So I tend to
Wait. Do you
I don't like that. It just kind of floats.
hear something?
Yep.
More to offer.
More to offer. Yes. Hide.
I'm going to gut you.
Let's get you one at a time over here, man. Just kind of.
Bait the fish, dustling!
Nope. There we go. Nope. There we go. A little better than last time. Here you go, bud. Come on. That was not supposed to happen like that. Supposed to block the last second. There we go.
Need more than just that sword.
Oh, that was it?
That one
Okay.
had a bow.
Well,
Get it?
that one had a bow. Get it! Oh, they blocked us in. Okay, well. That's one of my biggest critiques in this game is it's kind of linear. And some of the characters are forgettable. It gets better as you go through the game. Definitely gets better as far as how memorable some of the characters are as you go through. Toward the beginning of the game. Hello, red target. Who are you?
Let's shoot them before they see us.
They haven't seen us yet. They are not doing their jobs. Okay. Well, you're doing a great job opening these doors for me, Chief. Really appreciate your hard work. Alright. Let's keep going. Going, and going, and going, and going. Aw, missed. Come on, dude. Get some of my bows, or get some of my arrows back. Eh.
Die, dustling.
Just die, dustling. Yeah. Does that work on all your other enemies? Can't imagine that works with your other enemies. Higher defense rating, higher block efficiency, but again, I like my critical hit damage. Mostly simply because of the bow. Tattered documents. I can't imagine. Can't imagine those being of any value. I don't even know why they were inside that chest. Like, could just destroy them. But, you know. Nothing to see down there. We already cleared that.
Daggers are deadly if you catch an enemy unaware.
Oh, yeah. And see the daggers here. There we go.
Speed more than makes up for their size.
More there. Like Again, with that block efficiency BS. I don't need it. Don't care about block efficiency. Can I go down there? Is there something hidden? No. One thing to look for in this game, whenever you see a body of water, or you see little bubbles in the water, and you're able to get down into the water, there is stuff to search for.
Daggers. You should be able to finish them quickly and quietly.
Forgot how to sneak. Well, that was a healing potion. That's not, that's a log. No, that's not it. Shit. How do I crouch? Could have swore it was, right bumper. Is it not? Stealth. Yeah, right bumper should be stealth. Okay. Oh, that's right. I forgot. This game implements mechanics at the very beginning, like right now. Where basically you can't do the thing until it tells you how to do the thing. Even though my tutorials are turned off, it still doesn't allow me to do sneak attacks until after I've been given the conversation thing on how to do sneak attacks. I'm gonna get you first, because you seem to be the one noticing me. Nope. He still got me. Damn. Freaking bot aim. Damn bots. Alright. Let's get rid of the daggers again, because the physical and piercing, I think damage is actually just better on that. Well, that handled a lot of my work. Some random lockpicks. There's the Pillar of Souls that somebody exploded earlier. Look at that.
Respond to the presence of magic. Perhaps there is more. What are you?
I am that guy that's gonna save the world. I'm Kim Possible. Where is? Look at that! Look at that! Look at that venomous spider right there. Not even hostile toward me, just trapped inside of his little cage. Alright. So now that I've done a little target practice with electricity. That was weird. What the hell? Did you see that shadow just appear out of nowhere? So let's... There we go. I knew there was something around this corner. Now let's get this guy. Oh, you fucking idiot! Oh, that was so dumb. That was so dumb. I thought I had him, but I was totally looking like the wrong way. Excellent. Torn robes. So if you're gonna go mage style, obviously, cool stuff. But they replace torso and legs. So obviously you're getting less defense rating because, you know, 10 plus 6 is, it's actually not that far off. But we're not going to be using a whole lot of magic, and we're going to be selling all of our stuff later on, so it doesn't matter. Oh, excusez-moi, s'il vous plaît. Okay. So let's keep going here. Dee. Little staff here.
It completely covered the tunnel.
Nope. I mean, they have, but I'm not worried about it. go ahead and... Why can't I add those to junk? Apparently I can't add the daggers to junk yet. But, of course, I can add just about any piece of armor to junk, so that's cool. What would you do with poison-based... I don't have any poison-based attacks yet, so... Pretty much...
Maybe you can use that staff. Burn a path through.
Yep. Kind of actually already know how the fire staff works.
Spiders, burn them! Burn them!
Nope. A little bit of flare. Don't plan on using the fire staff very much, but it's actually a decent little weapon at this point in the game. Couple that with a little bit of electricity, because this fire staff does not use your mana, which is nice. Plus, you're going to need it to clear out these cobwebs as you go through here. So, nope. Oh, come on now. Frickin' suck. Ruddy little cunt. Alright. Pretty sure there's more. At least I thought there was more over here. No? Nothing? Okay. It was just... Alright, get out of here! Yes, because I'm so worried about everything that's so super strong in the training area. Yep. We're just a little baby. We're so frightened. We're so frightened. Alright, now we're coming up on formless use. But this room is really good to loot. Lots of good stuff. So they're going to have their little conversation over there. He will come and talk to me here in just a second.
We'll give you the speed. Simple cloth frees your body mud. This is where we part ways. Take whatever you want from this armory.
Oh, I've already started that.
Things that would fit you. Just make sure you get to choose. We can hold off the Tuatha here.
Yep, I'm gonna need some more help from you.
These might be able to help. If the Tuatha realize what you are, you'll need them.
Alright. So... I can fight with you!
We can't risk you getting killed. You're proof that the well can work. Don't you realize what that means? Just keep going past the top of the well. Hughes will be there in his study. I'll see you on the outside, if fate wills it.
Yeah. I don't think fate wills it, and so, but, okay. Okay, so let's continue raiding this room really quickly.
Later. Nothing protects quite like layers of impervious metal.
I don't think there's actually a whole lot else in here. I cleared out a good bit of the stuff. The dude groaning over there in the corner is going to get on my nerves, so I mustn't stay too long. Lots of bows and swords all over the wall, but they're like, no, you can't have none of those. Let's go ahead, let's look through. I don't think I actually need any more of the birch staff, but it does better damage. Plus, the 8 burning damage over 3 seconds is pretty nice. So we're just gonna leave it. Just gonna leave it like that. The armor. Let's see if there's anything. It's about as good as what I'm wearing right now, so that doesn't matter. Nope. 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 They give you plenty of opportunities though to pick your type of weapon. If you want to go magic or, you know, whatever, they give you a lot of opportunities to change that up early in the game. As you can see, they give me many different types of different stuff. Yeah, just add that to jump. Add that to jump. I'm going to keep those. Okay. It's going to make it a lot easier whenever I get to town and I start selling stuff, because I can just sell all my junk instead of spamming it out. Hello there. Let's keep on going through here. That pretty fucking cool, actually. Let's take the path less traveled. Notes from Cormer's Hughes. You can see he's been doing a lot of work in this area. He's been keeping his notes. This would be where the well is. We can't go in there. Probably doesn't want us to go back from where we came. Alright. Now, nothing to break, no gold to find. This is where we're going to start getting to the point where we're fixing to get out of the training area. And the only reason I do the training area is mostly for the gold, the items that you need to sell and stuff like that. You don't actually have to do that, but it makes this process easier, especially if you plan on doing level 1 blacksmith like I am. Where we at, Hughes? I'll let you, boy. I'm here.
You've made it. And look at you. Even with all you've been through. The Tuatha, your return from the dead. Please forgive me. You must be terribly confused by all of this.
Terrible.
I am Fulcrum Hughes, and this is my laboratory at Alistar. Everything you see here is dedicated to one thing. The Well of Souls. The pursuit of immortality. And you're my first success. If we only had the time, there's so much we might learn from one another.
There's so much that we might learn. Yeah,
Too
what's
much
going
to
on?
explain right now. The Tuatha have come to stop my work, but I don't believe they know about you. Not yet. What's important is getting you out of here safely. You're the only proof of what we've achieved here. I may not be able to save the well, but I can ensure that its only success is safe.
Alright, well, I will try it again. I'll stay and fight. We'll see how...
Absolutely not. I've got my notes, but it's most important that you stay safe. It's just that you're fascinating, simply astounding. I'm not certain what's caused it, but somehow... yes, as I was saying, I'm not sure what... Perhaps I should go see.
Sir! Mr. Hughes! The Tuatha have breached the lab! They're inside the...
Yeah, I didn't think we'd be seeing Incel again.
No! We've got to get you out of here now! Quickly!
He pulled some
Follow the
Matrix
path to the town of
shit,
Gore.
fucking
Find
dodging
Adam.
those
He's
arrows,
afraid
though.
that he may be able to help. No matter what else, stay alive!
It's a frisky little fucker, I'll tell you that much. Stabbed and killed one, cut another, and then just kept sprinting like shit didn't just happen. So as you walk close to some of these areas, it triggers falling mechanics. But I don't think there's anything here that you can collect. Can't go up there. There's nothing to break. No notes to read. Let's just go. Let's just go. There's nothing around here. Whoa! Hi there. Let's just keep swimming. Just keep swimming. Just keep swimming, swimming, swimming. What do? We sprint. Whoop. Nope. And then this guy. Wow. Nope. You thought so, though. Come on now. You tried, though. Got one good hit on me, filthy bastards. There's a chest over here on the side, which is why I'm searching all these little nook and crannies, because there's a couple of, like, chests. There's not too many in the training area, but this game does really good about hiding chests in random areas and stuff like that. There's a couple of other ones that we're actually going to just sprint right past here at the beginning. Because most of this game has leveled loot, which basically just means that as you expose yourself to the area or the chest, you're changing what's in it based on your level. So, there's a good amount of lockpicks this early on. Right. Now, you see that big boy right through there? We're gonna have to kill him. Oh yeah. We're ready, aren't we? I think. Is there a potion I can drink? Because this is hard mode. Inventory. Controls. No. Total armor by 25%. I don't think that lasts very long. So let's... I believe that's on the left bumper. Yeah. Alright. This is actually gonna help us a little bit with this fight. Let's have fun, right? What we're here for. Yeah. Nope. There you go. Sprint at me, big boy. Nope. Go ahead. Oh, shit. Just barely, though. Trying to deal with these lessers first. No! Get out of the way! Ah, fucker. Nope, get out the way. Whoa! Did not think I was gonna make that. Yes, he does resist most forms of magic, but it still does damage, so that's good enough for me. Nope! Woo! That was very close. Very, very close. Oh! That one hurt. Okay. Oh. Woo! Damn it! Keep not getting out of the way fast enough. Oh, get out of the way! Woohoo! There we go. Let's get it on this one here, huh? Give me that 100%, baby! Just freaking brutal right there. Just brutal. Alright. Then loot him. Little bit of health. That's right. Okay. Even got an extra healing potion out of it. I only needed to use one for that fight. So that's nice. We actually got another one. So we basically recovered the one that we used. So that's nice. Could have had an extra one if I didn't have to use one. But whatever. Alright, now we go to the outside world. Never to see the training area again because obviously it collapses in and, you know. Such is the story of things. Yep. Alright, so there's a couple of regions around the area that I want to pick up. And there is...
It was only a matter of time.
Almost never get that region right there. Almost always shows up. But like, see that bubbling spot down there in the water? Just right above my head, right behind that root. There is a bubbling spot. And that means that there is loot down there, right? That's dope. We're gonna get that. Because that's just extra money waiting to be picked up. But,
Told them we needed more guards.
yeah, I'm not interested in the guards. But, okay. There's another little loot bubble right there. And there's one over there as well. I believe those are the only three. But first, we're going to do a level up. So, I was wrong. We actually need level 4 into blacksmithing in order to build the way I plan on building. This allows us to use 4 components when crafting equipment, which is going to make our equipment a little bit better, especially whenever we're going for the 130% damage boost. So that one requires level 8, but these first 4 we can do right here. You can build your character however you want, but like I said, these are the main ones. We're going to pick up another blacksmithing perk very soon. There is a person who can train you in blacksmithing, and you'll learn that last one without having to level up. So this is the first level right here. I'd say we're going to put... So you get 3 points, and I would recommend putting 1 into each category. Obviously, I recommend the bow for finesse. And even though I really don't play as a sorcerer, my only real skill here that I like to build into is the shock ropes. So whenever you get a high enough level, those actually be really fun to use. You need 5 points into sorcery in order to get it, but as it stands now, we just need 2, 2, and 2 into each of the categories. And you'll see why here in just a minute whenever we start looking at destinies, whenever we start looking at the destiny cards. So, alright, now we've got level 3 blacksmith. We started out with a level 2 blacksmith, and if you're starting this with another character, at this point you're only going to have level 1 into your blacksmithing skill. It's still possible. It's still possible to do it. You're just going to end up working harder than I am going to work. Also, I am going to grab that one over there, but there is a hidden spot back here, which has, I believe, 3 chests. So that's good for some loot. Right. Okay, I still heard the music, so I thought there was more. Now, one thing you can do with this game is something that I'm probably going to end up doing right now, because I want this dispel chest. It's not required, but right now the whole point is to get a little bit more loot. So you can save scum. And that was a previous save where I was doing basically the same thing I'm doing now, and he's a level 2 and he's got the same equipment. So, we're going to create a save for Chris, right? Level 1, blah blah blah, yada yada. And I'm doing this before the fact. I've got 22 lockpicks, so I'm not too worried about some good stuff in here for selling. So I'm not too worried about failing. Didn't even have to try that hard. Wow. Okay. something that I want to note, because the only reason I'm mentioning it now is because I will end up selling, I don't want that, armor. I will end up selling this piece later, so I want to kind of talk about it a little bit first. So if you'll notice, this is a crude copper talisman. This is a copper talisman with 10% elemental resistance. It is blue in color, and I don't know if this is true or not. This is just something that I had noticed on my last playthrough, was that there is a particular talisman that you can buy, and you're going to need a talisman if you plan on doing the build in a similar way that I am going to be doing it. But basically, with the level 4 blacksmith, you get more regents recovered, or not regents, but you'll get more parts recovered from. Let's see if it'll let me. Abilities. No. Skills. There it is. Okay, so you can harvest components from some enemies in the world, blah, blah, blah. You can use 3 components, blah, blah, blah. You can salvage infrequent equipment, which is slightly higher level items, and that's something you're going to need to break down the talisman. That's also going to require a little bit of save scumming, because it doesn't always give you the one that you want. You can do it for different ones. I like the fire, and it seems to me that with the salvage and frequent equipment, it seems that this talisman here, the blue one, you'll notice that the symbol has this blue aura around it. For some reason, this talisman doesn't seem to drop the fire resistance. In fact, this one here is probably going to drop like electricity or something, some other type of resistance. You would think it would be just flat elemental resistance, so give you resistance versus fire, electricity, and ice. But whenever you break it down for parts, you only get one of those things, and again, not 100% sure, but I think it's actually related to what color the talisman is as to how frequent you are to get the enchantment that you want from it. So say, for instance, the one that I'm going to be buying later on is going to be a copper talisman with a red aura around it. And it is highly likely that you'll get a fire resistance part from it. Mainly because whenever I tried this with a different type of copper talisman, I ended up getting a different parts from it, and I save scummed it, and I re-broke it down many times, and I actually never ended up getting the fire from it. But I did end up scrapping it for the parts anyways, and then I went and took that extra money that I've got, and I went and bought the one that I was supposed to buy from the person who sells it, and I'll sell that later. That will definitely touch on that. But if you buy the particular one that I'm going to buy, I got it to roll the part that I needed, and I only had to reload a save like maybe twice. I think I got it on my 3rd try. There was another playthrough where I actually got it on my 1st try, so it's relatively easier. It seems to be easier to get, depending on the color that you are breaking down, the color of the aura of the talisman that you are breaking down. If that makes any sense at all, because as I say it out loud, it's kind of hard to follow. I will definitely touch on all that later. It's just something I wanted to point out now because I have that piece in my inventory. Now that I'm thinking about it, I don't think I'm going to sell it or break it down for parts just yet. And I'm going to try to do all my blacksmithing in one go. So I'm going to try not to do it in multiple, going to the blacksmithing station, coming back and going there and coming back, because it seems like a lot of extra work. I've got my handy-dandy little list of ingredients here that I will be following. So a second there, I thought I was going to fuck up on an easy one. A couple of shards. And those will be useful once you start getting more into... those will be more useful, the shards. They'll be more useful once you start getting into the enchanting. Just gonna leave that alone for now. Let's look at my secondary. I believe there's actually a stronger bow here. Yeah. Now, just go ahead and I'm strongly considering putting that one on. Don't need those, and I'm pretty much done with that. Let's look at this one. I want to compare 17 versus the 15. It's ice and lightning, though. I think I'm going to stick with the fire staff. Yeah, screw it. Slightly higher damage, so let's keep going here. We're going to search these last little pools of water, and then we're going to go do this fight. And then we get to choose our fate, which is another key point. And another thing that I'm going to be paying attention to whenever I get to that point. No worries, though. I am definitely going to be calling out and discussing, talking about, you know, whatever we're talking. Yeah, talking about as I'm kind of going through this, because it just makes the whole process easier for me, mentally. It makes it easier. That's a bear. Oh, I don't want nothing to do with you. The video I watched that gave me the idea for this, and it's kind of his guideline that I'm following. He doesn't mention some of the stuff. There's actually a hidden treasure chest over here. At least I think it was in this spot. I might be actually thinking of a different part of the game. But it matters not. It matters not. We're not going that far today. We're just going to be building the equipment. I'm just going to get to the point where I can make the equipment for this build. We're just going to get there. That's the goal for today.
Haven't you? Name's Agar. Maybe you can help an old fate weaver, eh? Did he? Poor old Fulmerus Hughes. He respected the way the world works. What a shame. He's probably dead by now. The cards told me that the Well of Souls would work, but Hughes' success would come on the day of his death. He took it pretty well, honestly, although we did a lot of drinking after that. I suppose I could spare a little help in memory of Hughes, or in celebration of his success. Whichever.
I think he just wanted a reason to drink. Fucking Agar the Alki.
You're the one. Then that means it all makes sense now. The cards this morning. I drew the Gravedigger, the Running Man, and the Beast. Prepare yourself. They're coming.
Well, the Gravedigger came for Hughes. I'm the Running Man, and I've already killed the Beast. Okay. There we go. And boom. Right? How's this, guys? You staggered? I want to make sure all three of you are staggered so I get the most XP from this I can get. Yes! Because as long as everybody is staggered whenever you do that, everyone who is staggered on the ground, you will collect their XP.
What?
It's
How?
very nice. It's an
What
auto
are
kill.
you?
Love it.
The threads of fate. I've seen them before, but I've never seen anyone manipulate them like that. You just changed how the world was supposed to work. How did you do that?
I just did it.
You just... Fate is the will of the gods. No mortal should be able to change it. How is that even possible? Come here. I'm going to do a reading. You might be able to change the threads, but fate will still have a plan for you. I promise not to tell you if I see your death. That would be my guess. He was an academic, but he had a proper respect for fate's plan, unlike most gnomes. You're
Okay.
nervous. Relax. This is what fate weavers do. I'll be seeing your place in the pattern of destiny. Who you are, what you've done, where your path takes you. Or, at least, I should be. You're real, right? I swear I haven't had that much.
It's pretty heavy thunder. Some pretty heavy thunder out there. Not seeing any rain yet, though. I'm real. You must be drunk.
I am. But still, I've never seen someone whose fate was just missing. Not even when I was drunk as the king of ballads. This doesn't make sense. All mortal creatures have a place in the pattern. You should have one too, dead or not. If this is true, and I'm not saying that,
He says, I am.
then your path is yours to determine.
It's fucking great. Okay, so. Looking here at the unlocked destinies that we have. Yes, sir. So, the reason that I put 1 point into each of these trees was because I needed 2 and 2 to unlock the Seeker. Equipment requirements reduced by 25%. That's going to be a pretty big benefit for the build that I'm making, at least at your lower levels. It's going to help a lot. Ranged attack damage, your magic attack damage, and your melee attack damage plus 7%. Those are all going to be really good things to have at this point in the game. It's going to help a lot with the level 1 build to make my job easier. So we're going to start there. Of course, you can go however you want after you do the setup phase. Now, if you choose one of the other characters and you have to actually level up before you can put the 4 points into blacksmith that's going to be required in order to actually make this possible. If you start out with one of the other classes, you don't start out with a skill in blacksmithing. So you're actually going to have to level up 4 times. So you're going to need to be at least level 4. Yeah. Now you can do it at level 3 because you can still buy 1 perk from the blacksmither, the blacksmithy. At one of the guild halls, and we'll discuss that in greater detail later whenever I actually do purchase that, because I'm going to have to purchase that myself, but I'm going to be doing this level 1. You can do it with the other characters, like I said earlier. So you'll have to level up 3 times. You'll need 1 level up for each of those blacksmithing skills, and you'll need to put a point into blacksmithing for every level up that you do. So
Damn it, it's the truth. At least, I think it is. The world is changing. You might be a sign of that. Or maybe the cause. I've never had a reason to doubt my own readings. But we should consult with Arden. He's not a friend, but he's got a good eye for the tapestry. I'll meet you at his home to the east. I'm going to see if I can be of any help to the wounded at the tower. What could this all mean? Still here, huh? What
fuck.
could this all
I didn't want
mean?
to talk to you, dude. I'm trying to loot. I found Essence of Fate. That's pretty dope. Alright, so. We're going to be heading out of here, and we're actually going to be doing a good bit of sprinting now. We have a destination in mind, and we're basically just going to be running straight there. thing about it is that I wanted to put this out there as kind of like a disclaimer. When you enter into an area, all of the minions in that area are going to be leveled to whatever level you are whenever you enter that area.
Of all the songs in halls of lore, there echoes none more grand than Olane's many things of light, the pure and lady of the light. She is a knight of golden knot. She is the cure seeker, the conscience of the summer fae. She is the heart of spring, of day.
I'm just collecting regents along the way for more stuff to sell. Anyways, as I said, you're going to come across areas like
Everyone just
the next area that I'm basically going to be sprinting through
so close.
here in just a
Go
moment.
back to your business. Go on.
Yeah, we'll be coming back here later. But we'll be able to fast travel later on. But the areas that we're going through, they do level lock whenever you go through the area. So basically... Oh, go away. Yep, go figure. They do level to you, so if you're level 1 whenever you're running through these areas... Oh, fuck you guys. So they are going to level lock whenever you run through the areas, though. But this is not going to change much for you. Mainly because of one thing. Most of these areas here at the beginning of the game that I'm going to be going through, they, yeah, they might level lock or whatever. But they also... Oh, crap. I can't do two things at one time, apparently. But yeah, they level lock. But they also have a level cap. Which means that you coming through here and locking them all level 1, yeah, sure, great. They're going to be level 1, and it's going to make this beginning part really easy, yada yada, blah blah blah. Cool, great, grand. But the other part of that is that is going to be...
What, stranger?
There's a thing. There it is. More items for sale. The other part of that is going to be that these areas do level cap. I think they cap at like a level 12 or something. So even if you level lock these areas to level 1, it's not really going to matter because eventually the challenge later on will outweigh.
More coins for the coffer.
I don't want to talk with you guys. Audi 3000, bro. Not into this. Just gonna keep running. But they're gonna be level locked. I keep repeating that. Because they are. Just gonna go over this way. So there is. And this is actually a river we're gonna be following. Here in just a moment.
As the tree roots into the earth, the tendrils of thoughts twist to the soul. As the fire renews the field, the birthing labors produce the
A
foal.
little more gold
As
for
the
us.
mantis climbs to his mate,
Let that
the
guy
heart
handle his problem
outstretched
over there.
her fair hand. As the hunter kills its prey, beside this hill it crafts from sand.
Oh my god, don't kill the chicken, dude. Crush the crates. Jesus. Anywho, I have heard people complain that, oh, just sprinting through the area, you're going to level lock everybody, and it's going to make it to where later on in the game, you know, whenever you get done with your build or whatever, it's going to make this area really easy because they're all going to be level locked to level 1 and you're going to be like level 5, and it's all going to be really easy for the beginning of the class. Like, I'm not worried about that at all because if you grind through the quest, which you'll get far more XP for the quest at early levels like this anyways. If you do all of that, then the level lock won't matter. Because you'll easily surpass the max level for the area if you go about it properly. Just real quick, I'm going to go through here and scepter. Okay. I don't know the difference between a scepter and a... Yeah, those don't matter. Trash. I like health regens, so I'm not gonna get rid of those. Nope, don't care. Minor mana. Restores a small amount of mana. Okay. Yeah, okay. Let's go regens. Honestly, don't really want... I think this is all used for alchemy. I'm going to keep the Essence of Fate, but pretty much everything else is going straight for sale because I'll be able to make the most money off of it that way. Not the Sagecraft stuff, though. Go ahead and get the quest thing removed. I don't like the little stars floating. Whoops. Is that the right one? Yeah. I'd be second guessing myself there. I came this way, not for this Dispel chest. This is just a bonus. The Dispelling the chest is just a bonus. We're getting really close. Ooh, that's nice. Too bad it doesn't matter. Alright. We're getting pretty close to the blacksmithy. That we're going to be selling all of our stuff to and getting some resources from. So, we're going to jump down here. And we're going to move over here. This little bubble. Not really anything. And then Dirge's bedroll here. Because Dirge's dancing shoes. Right? Those are cool. Poison resistance and all that good stuff. They're actually a really cool item to have if you're not going to be building like I am, or if you just want a good set of armor. But if you notice, the requirements in finesse is at 21. So for me, they are useless right now. Again, I don't like the whole star thing floating. But yeah, okay, so we got that like we wanted, right? And now the goal is going to be to fast travel. Okay, let me just fast travel up to the... Oh yeah, forgot world map. All right. We will be going back to Gorhart to sleep, but Deadenhall is where you want to go first, because the blacksmithing supplies reset, rather I should say merchants, reset on a 24-hour timescale. And we'll have more items to sell here very soon. So I'm not too worried about the whole aspect of money. I am very well prepared. Now, if you don't have the DLC like I do, it's not a big deal. This can actually be done without the DLC armors and weapons that I'm fixing to be using for money, basically. But we're going to go ahead, we're going to take off everything that is not currently useful to us, and that's pretty much everything. Right, and I'm just dropping all of that stuff into junk. I don't even know how much this stuff is worth, but we're just gonna sell it because we'll get better stuff as you play. Like I said, the stuff in this game is pretty much leveled to your character. So as you go through, you'll find better stuff. Not a big deal. White flake. All right. So now we're naked man.
Hello.
And there is also blacksmithing supplies. These are free, and it's not considered stealing, right? It's awesome. Okay. Now, before I go through getting rid of all this stuff, not 100% sure, but I think this chest that I grabbed is kind of like a, excuse me. I think it's random somewhat. So I'm not sure if this is exactly what you get from the chest every time, but I like to check and compare to my list to make sure that none of the items that I just took from that chest is stuff that I can use in my build, because it will save us money. Chainmail, we're not going for chainmail. I want leather. The frosted fulcrum, I think fulcrum is used for swords. So if you wanted that, that would probably be good. Simple shaft, that's a mage item. Mage item. Magnifying item. Or magnifying bindings. There's actually damage bindings that are better than the critical hit chance, so we don't need those. And then the weak rivets. The sustaining, I believe it's sustaining rivets. Yeah, sustaining rivets are better than the weak rivets. Those just add +5 to health, whereas the sustaining gives you a 0.1 health over time. I think it's like 0.1 health per second, so you can actually recover health over time, which to me is far more useful. Right, so I said this earlier, I have been marking pretty much everything as junk. I didn't mark the crude copper talisman because I want to show something later on whether or not this item breaks down for the proper resources that I need. But everything else has been placed into the junk category. I have 486 gold. That's not enough money to do what I need to do. And yeah, we're starting to get to the point where I'm going to be saving somewhat frequently. So yeah, this chest here is going to give you a couple of supplies, which either you can use the supplies or you can't.
Arms and armors, blacksmithing on premises.
If you need the supplies, then you know that's cool. You'll get some supplies out of it. If you say 23,573 gold right off the top, that's nice. That is very nice, right? That's very nice. So we don't need weapons from him. We don't need apparel. We do need to grab a couple of items from him. Now, you notice the number next to the item. There's my basic damaging bindings. He's limited in what he carries. So, we're looking from, and I have them written on my paper in order from the number that I need the most of to the number that I need the least of. So say, for instance, I need 8 basic damage bindings, 5 basic damaging grips, 3 basic prosperous string, 3 basic expansive trim. So I have them listed in, I guess you would call it in order of priority. So my cursor here floating over basic damaging bindings. I need 8 of those, right? And he's only got 2. But we're going to buy those, right? Also, the basic damaging grips, I need 5 of those. He's only got 2 of those, right? 3 basic prosperous strings. I think this is alphabetical. Basic J, K, L, M, N, O, A, B, C, D. Okay, so it's not alphabetical. There's prosperous string. The basic prosperous string, I need 3 of those, so just grab those 2, and then we'll grab the 1 more later. 2. That was the expansive trim. The expansive trim actually gives a bonus for XP, and I use it as a filler item. So it's not necessary for this build at all. It's just something that I chose to do. Same with the item I'm fixing to add as well. That was expansive trim. I need basic sustaining rivets. I'm over here checking my shopping list. Basic sustaining rivets. And remember earlier I said there was weak rivets that will give you 5 to health. Well, basic sustaining rivets, as you can see, plus 0.1 health regen per second. That's not while you're doing damage, that's just while you're out traveling the world. You'll use health potions less, and again, this is not a base item that you need in order to do the build that I'm doing, but it is a component that I choose. There are other options that you can swap in for rivets. I suppose you could use the other ones. Let's go ahead and grab these. There should be some other rivet types as well, somewhere in here, I guess. Somewhere in here. Slaughtering rivets. Bleeding damage. Those could be substituted in for the sustaining rivets, which will give you bleed damage on top of your increased damage percent, which would be nice. It would boost your damage percentage. So there's other options. Charged rivets, which would give you lightning damage. But I like the health because it gives me sustainability. Now we need 1 basic prosperous lining. We only need 1 of these. 1 is copper flame guard. Yeah, 1 copper flame guard. It's not a basic copper flame guard, is it? No. Where's copper flame guard? Where are you? No, there's no. Okay, maybe the copper flame guard is. That's a chakram item. Actually, the copper flame guard is a chakram item, which means you have to buy it from a mage dealer, not a blacksmith. Same with your birch limb. If you're going with a bow as your secondary, you can get a copper talisman from the mage as well. But I'm going to go through a little bit in detail why the person that I'm going to choose to get my copper talisman from is the reason why I'm getting it from her. So we're going to skip the copper flame guard for now. Basic charged fulcrum. There we go. Basic charged fulcrum. I need 1 of those. And the fulcrum is an item that can be used for swords and chakrams. I believe it can also be used for fey blades. So it's a pretty versatile item. I like the basic charged because it gives me an option later on to do electricity damage, because that's basically what this does. It is lightning damage. So it allows me to do stacks later on. So we go to the iron flame disc, which, if I'm not mistaken, iron flame disc should also be that's another mage item right there. So we're just going to skip over that one again. And then the handle, which the handle, again, is an item that you can use for... there you go, there's a handle. Um, the handle is an item that can be used for chakrams and swords. So that's a basic flame handle. I do need one of those. Right. And I have the option in here because, and I actually buy both of these because they're not that expensive. I buy both of them because sometimes I want to build a second set, or, you know, why not grab them now because I may end up using them later on after I've leveled up some and I can build better blacksmithing equipment. So I do end up going back and trying something else. And my other option here is the basic infected handle, which both of the handle pieces that I just bought, the infected handle and the flamed handle, they're interchangeable, but this one does, obviously, flamed handle does fire damage, and then the basic infected handle does poison damage. Okay, the real big difference between them. That's a basic charged fulcrum. I think I need a fire fulcrum, actually. Which, Illuminator's fulcrum. Damage versus Niskaru. Of course, there's a lot of options for this build later on. Once you kind of get the basics down, which, as I'm using my little cheat sheet here, you can see that I don't have them down pat, but I understand the basic mechanic. I just don't know part names, and I have really bad memory. So I'm not seeing any other fulcrum pieces that I'm interested in. So we're going to call it right there. That's all the pieces that you need for the weapons, other than the ones that can't be bought here. The part for the bow, the birch limb, the copper flame guard, the iron flame disc, the copper talisman, those things can't be bought here. But what else you need to buy? This is for the armor set, so that was all weapon stuff. This one's the armor set. You need your leather brace. You need one of each of these leather parts so that you can build leather equipment, right? This gives you legs, chest, head, feet, and hands. So I've got it written in a different order here. Hands, feet, head, chest, and legs. But the core items are there. That's the 5 you need. They're all leather. They're all right there. They're all easy to get to. So that's pretty easy. Now, you can only buy these in sets of 2. I can remember what I did with my pen. I've got to mark down everything I've already done because, again, I have the memory of a small child. The flame guard, which I can't buy here, and then the iron flame disc, which I can't buy here, the birch limb, and the copper talisman, all things that need to be bought elsewhere. And as for everything else, just go ahead and mark that off the list, right? And that starts basically, as I said, I numbered these in order from the highest number that I needed. Say, for instance, I needed 8 basic damaging bindings, so I put that at the top of the list. 5 basic damaging grips, 3 basic, 3 basic, 2 basic, 1 basic, 1 copper, 1 basic. I'm just reading the first word off my list here to kind of simplify the whole process, but you kind of understand what I did here. This way, I didn't get that one yet. I did mark that one and that one. So now I still need this one, I still need 1 of each of those. I got 2 of those. I need 3 of those. I need 6 more of the basic damaging bindings. And that one's going to be the one that's kind of a pain in the ass to get. But don't worry. I have a plan for that. You need to sleep in a bed for 24 hours. Actually, it's 24 hours twice, so it's 48 hours. After that time period, the merchants reset, and you can fast travel back here and buy these items again. So
long.
we're gonna make our way back out of here, right? doing this little autosave wheel down there in the bottom. Like I said, I've got the armor pieces. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 more items that I need different numbers for. Look at that. Me and my fisties. Now, with what I have in my pockets right now, I still haven't picked up the DLC armor yet. DLC armor and weapons. I still haven't picked that stuff up yet. And I have a decent bit of money, but I've still got a few supplies I need to get, and I've still got a guy that needs to be paid off. So this is going to be the part that Okay, so that got off track. I got distracted. Something of an emergency kind of popped up. Needed to be discussed and handled real fast. It's out of the way. We're good. Moving forward. Believe we were just, I was just discussing, we're just discussing the rest of the items that I need for my shopping list, how much money I have left to get those items. I still need to pay the blacksmith in order to get the 1 perk in a blacksmith so that I can have level 4 blacksmithing so that I can actually do the blacksmithing. But that's not really the big thing right now. We're not exactly low on gold, but we're going to rectify that right now, because there is some things that we need to do. I know what we were just talking about. So you need to sleep for 48 hours, and that means go to a bed and sleep 2 24-hour periods in a row. You won't have to buy the bed every time that you go into the inn, but you will have to buy the bed more than once in order to buy all of the items that you need to do if you're doing save scumming like I am. A bit of gold there. Alright, so that would be alchemy there. Right. A bit more breaky, snappy. This one right here, dude, special deliveries. This is the DLC material that I was talking about. Right? And here is the inn. Right? And if you look through here, there's actually a couple of decent items that if you were to start this game and try to do the same thing I'm doing, but you didn't want to start with the same character race that I started with, you could you could come and get this stuff if you had the DLC. You could come get this stuff, and you could use this equipment, you know, to get your level up, to get to the point where you can actually craft the stuff I'm going to make. The reason I'm not keeping any of this stuff is because the stuff that I am fixing to make is going to be stronger in terms of DPS, you know, damage output, basically, is what I'm going for. So most of this stuff is, basically, it's just non-essential for me. Alright? I don't need any of this. I'm kind of going slow. I could just spam all this into my junk, but I'm kind of going slow through here. There's actually a couple of really good items on this list. Right? Just look at that. Now, there is a red aura talisman. And if you remember earlier, I was talking about the talisman and the different color, blah, 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 right? So, now that you've got that stuff sorted out, let's see if I remember correctly, the woman that you need to buy the talisman from in order to get the particular part that I was looking for is right over here. So, this is the blacksmithy, right? More smithing supplies. Now, that's cotton, that's hardened grip. You can also do this stuff with an iron blade as well. You can put all of the same parts that I've mentioned in my list on an iron blade. You just need a hilt instead of a handle. Same basic concept applies, you know. And before I forget to do it, let's go ahead. We're going to look at components. There we go. Imaging bindings, prosperous lining, prosperous effective handle, sustaining rivets, stretch fulcrum, flame handle, flame hilt. I do not need the hilt. I don't need the hardened grip. I don't need the cotton mitt, and I don't need the iron blade. They're items that I don't need. Okay. So I kind of got rid of items that are not necessary for my current build. We're going to sell those items. I'm going to keep this one because I'm also kind of, as well, also experimenting with the different talismans to see. I don't think I can break this one down, though, because I don't have the necessary skill. I think, actually, we can check that. Blacksmithing. You can salvage rare equipment. You can create mastercrafted. So you can salvage rare equipment. So yeah, your purples and your yellows are going to be rare and legendary equipment, and you actually need a perk to break those things down. So yeah, keeping that talisman's actually not going to help me very much, but we're just going to hang on to it. Just as more of an experimental thing than anything else. Yeah. So we're in here in the inn. We've gotten our blacksmithing supplies, right?
Welcome.
Want to come over to this nice little Rika
Welcome to
Eggest.
Gorhard, the last
If
settlement.
I'm not mistaken, she's the correct person to talk to. The consumables. You can buy a backpack from her as well, but I'm not wasting my money on that right now. Let's go ahead and sell some stuff. I'm not going to be buying the backpack right now. But she is one that you can buy a backpack from. Okay, so copper talisman, and it's got that fire aura on it, right, boys? That's what we wanted. That's what we were trying to get.
Before the
Let's go ahead and we're gonna buy that out,
Goodbye.
right? So we've got the talisman I need, the copper talisman that I needed, right? So we're gonna go ahead and check that one. Now we need got all the leather components as well. I forgot to mark those. The other stuff, you're gonna need a mage, merchant in order to get that stuff, and you can find one of those. It's basically the Fighters Guild. I can't remember. I marked them on the map earlier. Shouldering Keep. Their shop has chakram parts, bow parts, the birch limb that you need, not the string. You need the string from somewhere else. But they do have the birch that you need, the parts for chakram. I believe they have parts for fey blades as well. So still something you'll need right there. Okay, but we are here, and
It's busy today.
we need to be able
Come
to.
in. Rest your boots by the fire and drown your worries in a flagon of our finest. I am
Right.
Arnik Arduna. We'll see.
He does training. That's not the guy I wanted to see. Ost Odura. Are you the guy?
Times are hard, but hard times if you have the sword and stomach for this. Right then.
Alright. Where the hell is the dude that...
Here.
How
He
may
does
I help you
training.
today, my friend?
I don't want training. Ah, room.
We can offer you a place to rest and refresh yourself. Interested?
Yep.
You'll find
So,
it a place.
the bed is
upstairs
not exactly
prepared
cheap
for
either.
you. Enjoy. Stick around.
Alright. So now, take a little run up here to the top. Apparently this woman's going to watch me sleep, but that's okay. We're going to do this twice to make 48 hours pass. And then we're going to go back to the merchant. I say the merchant, the blacksmithy. Alright. Go back to the blacksmithy so we can go pick up the rest of our supplies. Once I have the supplies that I need for everything else, then I'll go pick up the birch bow and stuff, because the last step that I'm going to take, and obviously it doesn't really matter what order you want to do this in, it's not going to make too much of a difference. You can go straight to Children Keep right now and do that part. But I'm just going to go back to Dyden Hall. I've already got my copper talisman for breaking it down, but I need the level 4 because the level 4 in blacksmithing allows you to... There's my copper talisman. The level 4 in blacksmithing allows me to... Wait. Level 4 allows me to use 4 components. That's right. You don't technically need that. But I don't care. I want it. I want the 4th slot. It makes things easier. I think you can do it with just 3, actually, not mistaken. But the salvage infrequent equipment is going to be the one that's going to give us the bonus that we're looking for in whenever I break down the talisman for parts. But for right now, I'm going to put my phone on Do Not Disturb, because that right there is annoying. So we're going to run back down. Over here.
Can I help you?
No, you can't. I'm just going to talk to the blacksmith.
To hold, I've got a sword or two you might put to use.
If you know which end to hold. Hold on. Again, I'm going to be buying items in my list based on how many I need, top to bottom. So, again, we're looking for basic damage bindings, right? Basic damaging bindings. We've got 2, now we've got 4. And then basic damaging grips, I've got 2, now I've got 4. I only need 1 more of those. Basic prosperous string, I only need 1 of those. Basic prosperous string. Right? Yep, just 1 of those. And then the basic expansive trim. Basic trim. Basic expansive trim, and that just gives the +2 experience points. That's not necessary for what I'm doing, but it does. I think it's better than some of the other perks that you can get. So now that marks off the expansive trim and the prosperous string. I still need 1 more of the basic damaging grips, and then I'm gonna have to do this 2 more times for the base damaging bindings. The base damaging bindings is the one you need the most of. So let's double check and make sure that I don't need anything else. I've got my leather, I've got all my other components except for the copper flame guard, the iron flame disc, which is something I'm going to have to get somewhere else. I've got my copper talisman, and then I need to get my birch limb, which is also another component that I need to get from Children Keep. So it looks like we've got 2 more components that we need to get.
So long.
One of them is going to be gotten. One of those items is going to be got. Words, man, words. On the next run, yeah. One of those items will be gotten on the next run. So let's head back over here to Borhart. The main reason I'm not stopping to go to Children Keep in the middle is because I don't know exactly how the sleeping mechanic works, but I feel like the longer the day passes before you go back to this bed and sleep, should be this one. The longer time passes before you go back to this bed and sleep, the more likely it is you'll end up paying for it multiple times, which you will have to pay for it at least more than 1 time.
Come on over.
However, there you go. Let's have a look.
As owner and proprietor, I am always looking for...
I don't know if I actually need to buy that room right now. So let's have us a look at the bed. And actually, I can just go ahead and sleep. So it won't be on this time, it'll be on the next time. Please don't disconnect me. I'm so close to finishing this.
For ways to make your stay at the Gorhart Inn, we can offer you a place to rest and refresh yourself. You'll find that
Let's
a
get
place
that rent to
upstairs
bed.
has been prepared for you.
My OBO Studios kind
Stick around.
of blipped there for a second. Alright. Now you gotta sleep another 24 hours. There we go. Hopefully that doesn't happen too many more times. Now, hopefully I don't need that bed too many times. Too many more times.
Welcome to Gorhart.
If I was willing to actually look at it and do the math, I could tell you exactly how many more times I need it. But I don't want to do that right now. I want to go and get the rest of my components before OBS Studios decides that I'm not streaming anymore. Because it's finicky like that. So, still have damaging bindings and one more basic damaging grip to grab.
My father's got the cough.
Then we've got to go get our blacksmithing components, and we'll be really close to wrapping this up. After, of course, we actually craft our components. And I've seen this done a lot faster than I'm doing it. Mostly because I didn't want to skip some of the lore and stuff.
Just tell her what you want.
So, again, top down, we're looking for the basic damaging binding, or, yeah, basic damaging binding. Basic damaging bindings, right? This will put us at 6, and then the basic damaging grip, this will put us at 5, right? So now we just need 2 more basic damaging bindings, and then we can go talk to that mage.
So long.
Hello.
We are so very close here. So very, very close. I can almost taste it. I just want to get this one finished up before OBS Studios decides we're not streaming anymore. So let's go get this. 2 more items that we need from this particular blacksmith, and then we can go to Children Keep. We can do our blacksmith training. Then we can start crafting our gear. After, of course, we break down a talisman for a part that we're going to need. Going to do a save right here in case something bad happens. Because if OBS Studios decides to do some tricky shit, I will, honestly, I will just end the stream and then I will just, you know, I'll start over and make this like a part 2. Because I'm not going to do this multiple times. I've gotten 2 hours into this to just be like, yeah, but I'll start over again. No, I won't. I won't. So I've saved my game because I felt like it. Alright, we're going to go back into here. We should still be able to use the bed. Don't know if I'll be able to use it twice. We are about to find out. Alright. But we need to sleep twice, and then we need 2 more basic damaging bindings. Look at that. And this will be the last time I need to sleep, so thankfully I only had to buy the bed twice. Just make sure that you're not wasting a bunch of time. I think I can actually sleep a 3rd time if I needed to. So that came in handy. I only had to buy the bed twice. The first time, and then this time whenever I came back. So we're making good time. We're doing good. We're doing good. Well, hello, citizen. Alright, so now we need to go back. We need to get our last 2 parts from Didenhall. Right? Let's go talk to our trusty neighborhood blacksmith over here. You see old dude, like, tweaked out whenever I punched that wood, though. Seems to be more gold in these crates than usual, huh? That's weird. Is this, Oh, no, that's not. For a second there, I thought that was that Fate Weaver, Agarth. I was fixing to say, what the hell's he doing over here? He's supposed to be waiting on a side road somewhere. Tyson. You can lay down. He's a good boy. Nope, don't lick me. Okay. So this will be the last time I need to talk to this blacksmith.
Just tell her what you...
And we need basic damaging bindings. There we go. Last two we need.
Mended. Good then.
Right. So. Inventory, items, crafting. 8 basic damage binding. 5 damaging grips. 3 prosperous strings. And a partridge and a pear tree. Isn't there supposed to be 3 expansive trims? Why do I only have 1 basic expansive trim? Oh, I fucked up. And this is why I double checked my work. Because that's not cool.
Don't mind me. I'm soft on those holds.
The one I'm missing is basic expansive trim. Somehow I overlooked that. Some basic expansive trim.
Songs of heroes. So long.
I don't know, maybe I was talking or something and I didn't notice what I was doing. Okay, so 8 basic damaging bindings, 5 basic damaging grips, 3 basic prosperous strings, 3 expansive trims, there we go, 2 basic sustaining rivets, yes sir, 1 basic prosperous lining, I saw that up here, there we go, 1 basic charged fulcrum, 1 basic flamed handle, or the infected handle, either of those will work. I grabbed both because I probably will end up doing something with those later. You also need 1 of each of the leather components. That's 5 pieces: hands, feet, head, body, and legs. And you should also have the copper talisman. As I was talking about earlier, this one's got the red aura around it, which is going to give me the fire that I want, the fire resistance, versus this one I think it's just going to give me like ice resistance, honestly. And I don't think I can break this one down, so probably should have sold it, but whatever. I don't even know how much it's worth, but whatever. Not important. Right? So the important part is we have 1 place left to go. And this is where we're going to cap off our blacksmithing skill and where we're going to pick up the last few pieces to finish our bow, which I consider a necessary item for ranged attacks. And there's a couple of other things you can pick up here as well. My personal favorite happens to be the parts for the chakrams, but I believe you can also buy the parts for the Fey Blade as well. I think that's pretty much it. Yeah. Yeah, so let's go ahead in here. Just a naked man running through the halls of Children Keep, right? I'm not even going to ask for an audience with them. I'm just going to run right past them.
If you're here to join, see Tyne Delfrin.
Yep, I will definitely take my precious time to go see Tyne. Yep.
Sure, I'm proud. Aren't I warsworn?
Yep, sure you are. You're very proud, aren't you? Okay. Now this is the guy you want to talk to.
Quartermaster here.
I have good war-sworn forged arms and armor. All the
Right. So, the parts that we needed from him were going to be 1 copper flame guard. Well, we also need the birch limb. Right? So, birch limb. All of the leather equipment that I bought earlier can be swapped out for, like, the cotton if you really wanted to. But if I'm being 100% honest with you, unless you're planning on going mage build, the cotton armor is not the best. The leather is better for a roguish kind of build. I believe the iron blades can be used for fade blades. So there's the iron discs, right? We're gonna go with the flame. Only need 1 of those. And a flame disc, right? And then there is a copper flame guard that I needed. Also iron plumb for the hammer. Small iron blades for the fade blades, I believe. The iron guard for the shield. So there are other options out there. Basic infected bindings. Copper flame guard is what I was looking for. Is it not here? Okay. Is it under... Of course not. There's another copper talisman. With the red around it. I'm kind of confused. Basic flame binding, infected binding. Copper flame guard.
things a fighter needs.
Not finding that part.
Aye.
Okay, well, you know what? Gonna level up our
How are
blacksmith
you,
here.
the Black Callow? Confused? No discipline? Are you happy like that? Or do you wish to improve?
God, you're condescending. Yeah. So current skill is 3. I'm gonna raise that to a 4. Blink of an eye. Yeah, rigorous training and a blackout, apparently.
What is it this time?
So now I've got my birch limb as well, I think. I got my birch limb too, right? Oh my goodness, this is just falling apart. I gotta pay more attention. Yeah, I got my birch limb, my iron flame disc. I don't know what I could possibly be missing other than the copper flame guard. For some reason, I can't remember where to get the copper flame guard. Use the blacksmithy and actually we need to. Oh, that's right. The copper flame guard actually comes from the copper talisman, which would mean that that's the copper flame guard, right? So let's go ahead. Let's look at these real quick. The copper flame guard should come from this copper talisman here with the red aura on it, and this one's probably going to be a copper frost guard, if I'm not mistaken. So let's actually break these down. Let's save the game, because just in case we don't get the part we want, I want to be able to reload my save so I'm not losing anything. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? So let's go ahead. We're gonna salvage down the copper talisman, because that's the part I'm actually going for right now. The other one is basically an experiment, and if you'll notice in the salvage components, there's no purple item, which means that I can't break that down yet. So it is level locked. You need to be level 8 and have 2 points into the second tier of blacksmithing in order to break down purple or yellow or any other higher class. So, copper talisman. There's my copper flame guard right off the top. Copper flame guard. Right? That's it. So we've got that one. And just because I don't feel like playing with fire, let's go ahead back into here. Let's go back into salvage, and let's go ahead. We're gonna break this one down. You notice the copper frost guard, which is going to give me the alternate. That was actually really easy. Kind of expected to have to reload a save there, but I did not. Not everybody's going to get that lucky. It doesn't always happen like that, but it does help a lot to have level 4 blacksmith. And I've said that multiple times. Have the level 4 blacksmith ready. And you'll notice down there at the bottom, I'm still level 1. So if you choose a different character type than the all main, which is the class that I chose, you'll end up having to deal with fuck's it called? You'll end up having to deal with leveling up first. So that's important to note. Me and my bad memory. I couldn't remember if I saved or not. Leave me alone. Alright, so let's look at a crafting here. Right? And we're going to look here into the rogue armor. Right? So, of course, just going to go through. We're just going to start making these parts. Heal. I don't even know where the basic. Oh yeah, the basic trim came from the talisman piece. We're not going to use that. We're using the expansive trim. And this is stating rivets and damaging bindings. Now, if you notice, and I'm going to start writing these down on the back of my piece of paper here, because I'm going to be adding these up. You need level 7 blacksmith in order to have a 5th item slot, but this is as far as you can go at level 1. Because level 7 blacksmith requires you get to level 8. So you're going to need 4 points into the first tier, and then hit level 8, and then put 4, 5, 6, 7. So you'll need to max out the second tier. I think the second tier was 3 points into it. But in any case, the last one here, we're going to look at that 10% damage boost. So I'm actually writing down these numbers because I want to verify that this is going to give me the 10% that I want, right? And we're all just going to call these, we're just going to call all of these training equipment. Right, training boots, because eventually I will probably, if I continue this, if I turn this into a series or something, I eventually will end up crafting better stuff later on. So leather mitt, there's another plus 10% with the gloves, right? The prosperous string. There were other string components to use, but I like the prosperous because the 3 to gold plate. Basic image and bindings, that's another plus 10 there. Right? So now we're going to craft it. We're going to call these training gloves. Sorry, I like caps. Get off me, jock. Right? Okay then. So let's continue crafting through here. We're going to go through the rest of this list here. There's another prosperous. There's another plus 10. And the way that this game actually calculates the damage like that, it doesn't stack the 10%. Actually don't fully remember how it ends up doing it, but it actually ends up turning out to be like 3 times damage or something instead of 130%. It's like 3 times damage, so it's not really double damage. It's actually higher than that. It's like 3.34 or something like that. You can actually go higher than that depending on how you build your character, which I thought that was pretty cool. Who knows? Maybe that's something that I should look up. Ah, fucking fucks, man. Of course I fucking called those training gloves because I forgot what to name them. Okay, well that's staying training gloves then. Fuck. It's another plus 10 there. Another plus 10 there. Oh my goodness, that was such a massive goof. You gotta remember what I'm building here. Fucking... Oh, it's lost all meaning now. All of the naming doesn't matter anymore. I've got a pair of gloves, or I've got a chest armor with the name gloves. Let's not forget what these are called now. Oh my goodness. Is my brain just getting fried right now? Like, what the fuck? Okay, so let's see. That's the experience points right there that I wanted out of that. So another plus 10, and another plus 10. So that's 2 more plus 10s. Right? And this is going to be training hood. Okay? Not why. Why am I having problems? Either my ADHD is acting up or my brain is about to fucking short circuit. Either way, I'm going to be blissful into that peaceful night. So we've got our armor built. Right? Let's look here at our weapon. Right? We've got Birch limb, charged fulcrum. So you could swap these out with like a frosted fulcrum. Fire, if that was where we're gonna go. Something like that. I'm just gonna sustaining rivet. There you go. I do love my regen per second. And that is another plus 10. So we're gonna go ahead and note that down on our little handy dandy notebook. Look at that. And we're gonna call these training longbow. God, it's just stuck in the back of my head how I butchered the chest piece so bad. Like, now my chest piece is just training gloves. So disappointed in myself right now. Alright, let's go with that. Now, and this is why I went with, let's go back one phase. This is why I went with both of the fire and the poison on this, because you have the flame disc, right? So you've got 7 and 13 damage over 3 seconds. You can also add another 4, so 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Right? And then it will also supplement the burning damage over a certain amount of seconds. So it adds 11 points of damage. The poison damage actually does more damage over 5 seconds, but these two stack with fire, so it's actually really nice. It's kind of a, one way or the other type thing. I'm actually going to build this one leaning toward fire. I'm probably going to do something with the poison later. I really enjoy the poison. It's why I bought it. So we got another plus 10 damage bonus here. And I believe that next component is also yep, that's another plus 10. Right? We're going to go ahead and we're going to craft that. And there's going to be training chakrams. If I can remember how to spell chakrams. I think that's correct. I hope that's correct. Right, let's continue. Okay, so if not mistaken, there's one more thing that we need to make, and that is correct. It is the talisman. And you notice I went 2 different ways with this, as copper and the frost guard. There's not a lot of enemies that use frost in the game. I think late game, you will end up running across enemies that use frost. But for the most part, beginning of the game, and there's not a lot of them that use fire for that matter. I can't remember anybody that sticks out as just a fire user, but that right there, that does happen. So I'm just gonna do the fire. Like that's just gonna be, it's gonna be good enough for me. That's another plus 10 here, right? And then that's another plus 10 there, right? So those, and then I don't really care about the armor, as I would actually more care about the experience, because the goal of this build is to keep them at somewhat of a range. We're not going to be getting up close and personal with a lot of people. That's not the goal of this particular build. So you go ahead and confirm, and we're going to call this the training talisman. So if you know what you're shopping for, you know what you're going to be building for, you can, obviously you can build these at any point in the game, as long as you have the required skill, and of course the components to build this stuff. I just did this at level 1, just to kind of show that it can be done. There is... Oh, I'm missing one component there, otherwise I could build 2 different talismans. This one with the frost guard. But yeah, you can kind of see... that's it. I think it automatically pushes the stuff that you can actually build toward the top of the list, if I'm not mistaken. So that's all I can build, and I've gotten all of my stuff built. Let's put it on, right? Let's put on this stuff, and I'm also going to add up these numbers real fast, so I kind of have an idea. Chakrams. At 34 damage, the physical damage, the 11 fire burning damage, the 16 burning damage over 5 seconds. This is going to be it's going to be a good set. I would say this is, you know, and then the health regen per second. So as long as you have the item equipped, you don't have to have the bow out. It just needs to be equipped to one of your slots, and you will get the plus 0.1 health regen per second, which is nice. You can put it in your offhand. That's the reason I built the talisman, the shield, because I don't plan on using the shield very often. Because again, the goal is not to be up close and personal with them. Got 2 sets of training gloves. Only one of them is gloves. God, I wish I could rename them. Anyhow. So, my training boots and my training talisman. Now, if you notice, the one that I just crafted, it's a blue, which is a normal tier, versus a purple, which is, you know, the higher tier item. I guess you would call it a rare, whereas yellow would be a legendary or something like that. But you know, it's a good talisman. It is. It's a purple, but look at the defense on it. It's a defense of an 8, whereas mine actually gives me plus 20% damage, 10% elemental resistance is what I'm going to end up getting from this, which is the same. Blocks 7 damage, but this one actually gives me a 10 defense overall, which means I don't actually have to pull it out in order to get it, plus the 1% experience bonus. So overall, between the two, the one that I made is still better than this one. Like, mine's better. Mine's better. So yeah, that's it right there. That's the build. No, that's stealing. That's stealing. We don't want to be stealing. Really glad my stream has lasted this long. I I'm gonna go kill some stuff. But if you like the video, nobody's watching in my stream, but that's okay. I didn't do this so that I would get people watching in my stream. I did this because it's easier to stream it and then change the description of it and everything on it later on for people to watch, you know, later. Hopefully most of this stuff will still be effective in the remaster. I can't imagine they would remove something as trivial as this from the system. You know, maybe they would cap the damage percentages that you can add to items, but again, I can't see them doing that. It doesn't really benefit them. Let's count up all these 10% though. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100, 10, 20, 30. So that's 130%. I just counted it out. 130% damage bonus when I have all of this stuff equipped. Now, let's find something to fight, eh? Come on, lock onto him. Big oof, man. That electricity, though. No, go away. Freaking Google, though, man. It's whatever. Oh, shit. Something has decided I'm a snack. Fucking filthy wolves. Fucking hate wolves, man. They just decide I'm a fucking snack. Just was trying to look at something here, man. Google came and interrupted. You guys protect me for like half a second, would you? Okay. Jesus. Right. So, I don't know if that blessing actually recovered my health, but if you notice, I'm back at full health. Let's see here. Store, effects. There we go. Thirdon's blessing, which is mine, and then Mitharu's 0.5 health regen per second. So that probably did help me recover some of my health. But I've also got healing items on as well, so they're probably bolstering each other, which is really cool to have that. Find something to kill there, yeah? Did I get this lore stone over here? Oh, that wolf is dead. That's not the lore stone I was looking for. Shit. I thought there was a lore stone. I'm thinking further up, aren't I? Hey, you're not going anywhere, bud. What have we here? This is very easy to dispel, but we're gonna save it anyways, because I don't want to die. And fire damage versus boggarts, too, is fairly strong, so that's nice. Overturned cart with blood just smeared all over the place. Noise strings. Yeah, this stuff is not even useful to me anymore, but I'll grab it. What's this dead body doing over here? Poison shard. Hello. Another reason that, like the shock rooms, I was going to put the poison on them because it would give me the fire damage, but then it would also give me the poison damage from the handles, And then to top it off, items like that, the cloudy poison shard, that you could later on, you could either recraft your weapons, make stronger equipment, or you could use the shard to double down on the poison. So let's... Yeah! That was a hella easy one. It's locked. It can only be opened with a proper key. You must be fucking joking me. Oh, come on. Fuck's the purpose of dispelling it then? Whatever. Freaking jerks. You'd think there would be like a key nearby or something. It's probably like a quest related. Yep. And the health recovery is so overpowered. Now, all this stuff should be leveled to me. So the equipment that I've made is, it's of course going to be much stronger than what I need. I don't think he was paying attention at all. Took out 3 of them before he ever noticed. Killed 3 of them, and dude was like, "You don't belong here." Neither do you, but okay. How are you not dead? And this is why I love the shock ropes. The range on them is absolutely impeccable. I don't plan on picking that lock right now. But yeah, the range on them is absolutely delightful. Now, there is one thing that I want to do, which is definitely something that I recommend for other people to do, and that is that you're going to want to, eventually, you're going to want to reset your fate. So I need to go meet Arden. And the main reason I want to reset my fate is because the fate card that I'm using, I need 2, 2, and 2 in each category, so I don't want to disrupt that. But I am fixing to level up, which means I'm going to start putting more points into perks and stuff. And I don't want to have wasted perks. Which essentially, there's about 2 or 3 perks that you start off with that, being frank, they're wasted on me. I'm not going to use them. So, you know, there are perks that you start the game with. You can't do anything about it. It's not a decision that you can make. You can't be like, oh, I like this perk, I'm going to take... No, they give you 1 in each category from the start of the game. And we're going to see why that's a bad thing here in just a second. I don't think I'll ever do a whole lot of alchemy, but it's nice to have this stuff. And then we're going to mark the next town over once we get done with this mess here. Save the game. Yes. Yes, I will. Also note that I paid for a blacksmithing skill, correct? Well, when you pay for a blacksmithing skill like I did, You don't lose that perk whenever you use a Fate Weaver to unbind your fate. You frisky bitch.
Interesting. You're not at all what I expected to find here.
So what's the option here? You killed Arden, or what did you expect?
I
What did you
trailed a band of
expect?
Tuatha to this place. They killed the Fate Weaver. I was hoping his corpse would give me an idea of why they were here. Now I know. They were hoping to find you.
Why assume that I'm involved?
Knowing you, you're definitely involved. But something tells me I know you better than you knew yourself.
How
Don't
do you know me?
remember me? I'm hurt. No time for introductions now. The Tuatha are still on the move. I'm certain that we'll see one another again. Soon.
We will.
Be on your way.
Yeah, I don't have the option of just being on my way.
What happened here?
Don't ask me. I don't know. Chick came in, and she just left. She was like, nope, I'm outie. It's fucking... What is this trash I'm picking up? And you'll notice I'm not going to pick up much that's better than what I'm using now. Honestly. Buckler seems to be a little bit better, but as far as the perks that I have on it, it's not better. It's just not. I don't like having all these stars. Sorry. Beads. It's just ceremonial Red Legion blade that once belonged to Midgar. Tattered. Tuckets. Funk out of here. Yeah, I guess. I gotta read through all this stuff. I can do that on my own time, not on you guys. If y'all want to know more about some of these lore books and stuff, definitely should play this game. It's Kingdom of Amalur: The Reckoning.
It's dead. How did this happen?
Should be the Re-Reckoning coming out close to the end of this year. Somewhere around September, I believe. Here's to hoping that.
Why would they have come here? Why kill a harmless old Fate Weaver? They couldn't know that you were headed here. I mean, the stingy bastard owes me a week of drinks. Doesn't mean he deserved to be murdered. I was hoping to
The stingy
avoid this,
bastard.
but I think I'm going to have to take you to Delok. Maybe not directly, but something isn't right. His fate was changed, and you're the only person I've seen who can do that. I'm going to have to handle this myself, I guess. I was hoping I could avoid Delok. Go. I'll meet you there once I give Arden a proper funeral.
Okay, so what I was talking about earlier is I'm going to use the Fate Weaver, and it's really cheap to do this early on, and I would say definitely look at your abilities, your skills, and make sure that you're not using skills that you don't want. And you know, like for me, there's the heavy bladed weapon under the might skill tree that I don't plan on using heavy bladed weapons like that. So of course I want to unbind that. Right now I can level up. So let's go ahead. We're going to handle that. We've got 2 points available. Did I level up twice? That's weird. Okay, we're going to put that in the blacksmith, and put it in a sagecraft for now, because I'm not going to be doing a whole lot of convincing. It's not a big deal for me right now. Now this is where it's important, because there is an electricity skill right here that the game gives you automatically right off the bat. Now, resetting it like I did, it gives me that point back, and I can put it into other things that are more useful of my time. Same thing with the finesse skill tree. Actually, I don't think it starts you out with a finesse skill. I think it starts you out with a might skill, though. Definitely starts you out with a longsword mastery. And again, not something that I really want. So we're going to look into the snag. Unlock charge special for staffs and chakrams. Now we want that one for staffs and chakrams. Because the charged attack for chakrams is actually pretty cool. Right? That's staff and scepter, so we don't want that one, but we do want this one. So we're going to put 2 into that. And then for this over here, grants you a large bonus of damage while using a longbow, increase the number of arrows that can be fired before reloading. So we're going to drop another 2 into that point there, right? And then right here into might. We're not going to be using a whole lot into the might skill tree, but I still do need to buy perks into the might skill tree. Now, this is where it's going to kind of differ for people. I'm picking skills that I can use, which is why I reset it. Because some of these skills you don't just start out with. Like, I'm not going to be doing daggers or fey blades. I'm going to be doing chakrams and longbows. But this perk right here, Envenomed Edge, is actually really nice because I can add poison damage to all of my attacks. You need 5 points into finesse in order to get that skill. Because I have to dump 3 points into this skill. And I think it maxes out at 4. Actually, this one might go to 6. Some of them max out at 4, some of them max out at 3. It's just really dependent on... But I'm not going to put too much more into might because I don't plan on using it too much. For sorcery, I need chakram. So put 5 points into this skill tree, right? So I guess it's really a matter of which one do I want first. Do I want... The poison is going to affect everything. I'm going to be able to use poison on all of my weapons. And I'm going to be relying more on my chakrams than my longbow because, quite frankly, I believe they do more damage. This is going to allow me to pull people to me, so it's going to be able to close distance for people who like to fight at range. I'll be able to make their lives hell. And then this one's just going to give me a bonus to my chakram. To be quite honest, I'd rather have this one first for the poison, quite frankly. So that's going to unlock that. But if you notice, this is, whenever you max out a build, the number, where it says 0 on this one, it says 5 on this one, I have 5 points into it. The number that's there on the bottom right corner of the skill icon, it will turn yellow whenever it's maxed out. So bow is not maxed out, but I can start putting points into Envenomed Edge once I get to that point. So I'm going to confirm that. Melee attack damage, which is nice. Elemental damage, which is nice. Seeker, which is our 2/2/2, and that's the one that we kind of built for. Melee attack, ranged attack, and magic attack. Equipment requirements reduced by 25%. That's actually one of the things that's going to make a bit of a difference for us. The 15% melee attack damage is actually pretty nice too, and this is also another thing that you can adjust towards your liking. If you feel like you're going to be leaned more toward the bow at this point, you can choose rogue. This is just how I built the 7/7/7 is kind of nice. Jack of all trades, but you'll get more toward the point. I took away the elemental, so unless you're building for magic as well as your melee, this one's not really much of a boon for you. And then, you know, brawler, melee attack damage, which that one's actually pretty nice if you're going to be doing a lot of close-up combat. But the biggest reason for the Seeker card is to reduce equipment requirements by 25%. That's one of the big things here, and some skills need that. Not some skills, but some outfits need that. Like your requirements for that is just 2, so that's not a big deal. Trash. This just makes it easier for certain things. Put back on all of my training equipment. Doesn't look like these actually have any type of any kind of requirement. But at 34 damage on my chakrams and 24 on my bow, I put level 4 longbow, and my longbow still does less damage than my chakrams, which is why I'm trying to put points in the longbow so that I can get to the poison, because that's going to add even more damage to my chakrams. And then on top of that, I'll be able to start dumping points into my chakram build, which is going to put points into magic, which I'm fine with that because I'm more of a magic rogue build. So I'm perfectly okay with that. That's how I play. But the big thing that I just got, let's see, that's just longbows. The special attack is what I'm looking for. That's scepters. There you go. Maelstrom. It's pretty effective. It's a nice little skill to have.
Bodies left in your wake?
So, this is about where I'm going to call it. Because I've met my goal. I've built my character. And I've leveled up, for sure. But I had my equipment built. I'm only level 2. Oh wait, no, that's before the save. It should be level 3 by now, actually. Oh, yep, still level 2. So I'm actually level 2 with all of this equipment. I had it all built at level 1. Level 2 was just a byproduct of me going and testing it out. So, it's easy to do this. It's easy to set this up, you know. Does take a little bit of time, does take a little bit of thought process, but if you know what you're building for and you're planning appropriately, you can do this with many different kinds of characters. Fucking poison
Somebody finally came.
does some good damage.
From Glorheart or Dyden Hill. How many warriors travel with you? It seems you're not the assistance we requested, but don't think me ungrateful. I could... Ganarok could use someone of your particular skill. We sit on the border to Webwood, most of us silk farmers. Normally, we rely on our bridges and an ancient Summerfey aura to guard us. But of late, what defenses we have are failing. These monstrous spiders strike at us from all sides. They've even gotten as far as Yolvan. A week ago, a team of hunters was led by the village's chief defender, Barton. We need someone to go find him and his party.
Okay. So, I came this way. Not only because the quest actually directs you this way, this is the natural flow of where you're kind of going, in a sense. But also, this particular town, you can join one of the guilds and you'll have a place to sleep and all that stuff. But this particular town allows you to have a house pretty early on in the game, which is really nice. All you have to do is complete this quest.
Good. I have more information to give you regarding Barton and the hunting party. But let's not give anyone false hope. And these townsfolk are growing hysterical. Meet me on the southern bridge and we'll continue our discussion. Good hunting!
Right, so I have chosen to follow this quest. And like I said, because this is actually one of the places where you can get a house pretty early on, and if you got the money for it, you can actually fully upgrade this house pretty early on. So, this one's actually pretty nice to have.
Keep it brief. I've work.
I'm not even trying to talk to you, dude. I'm not even interested in you. Ha, can't go through there. They've done some damage to this place, that's for sure. Can't get through there either. Oh my goodness, they really limit you in this game. That's one of the issues I have with this game. I don't have too many issues with this game. If I do, it's apparently I can't step over that. So, Gossamer's End can only be unlocked with a proper key. And that is the quest that I have tagged. The man that I have just spoken to, I have saved this town, so now you can talk to the townspeople. And there's, there's a blacksmith, there's a trader. I think there's even an inn where you can get some rest if you really wanted to. But all things considered, your best option here is to just head out of town with this guy.
Hello, again.
Again.
Speak with me a moment while we're away from prying ears. Kenrock is looking to me for leadership, and I'm more than happy to give it to them. However, if Barton returns, that all evaporates. Let me put it this way. It is for the best that he is dead. Do you understand? It would do you well to befriend me. So long as I hold sway in Kenrock, I can pay very well for your loyalty. But I understand your initial reservations. I don't need you to accept immediately. Just think about it. When the time comes, I have faith you'll come around. Good hunting!
So, basically what he wants me to do is he wants me to find the original, chieftain of this little village here. And, make sure he's okay. Or rather, make sure that he's dead. And the quest is just right up this hill. It's not very far away. It's actually pretty easy to do. It's an early game kind of quest where it's just an easy little thing right here at the beginning. That is for another time, though. I am kind of hoping that people will enjoy what I have done so far and will want me to continue playing this game. Mostly because I think people are going to be excited for what is to come. And that is to say, people will be excited for the Re-Reckoning, which is the remastered version of this game. I'm excited to see it. Hopefully I'll have the money for it whenever it comes around. I would very much like to get it. For now, I'm just playing on the Xbox 360 version. My old Xbox 360 disc. I have a digital copy here. And yeah, that's pretty much it. If you tuned in and if you lasted this long, if you paid attention at all to anything I have said, hopefully I have helped you in some way. Hopefully I've gotten you a little bit excited for the re-reckoning. If you're here looking for information after the re-reckoning comes out and this is still a viable method, I hope that you can use this and it helps you. It's a very versatile method because this game is actually very versatile in its methods. There's a lot of ways you can play this game. There's so many different ways you can set up your build that, you know, if you've watched what I've done and the steps that I've gone through to do all of this, you can see how easy it is to mix and match the parts that I've used to blacksmith my equipment. You can see that it's effective. 130% damage boost right off the bat. You know, just in armor and weapons. You know, the extra gold, the critical hit damage is nice as well, but not as important as, you know, just the percent damage. You're going to be hitting very hard. It's going to make you a DPS powerhouse very early on in the game. I know some people would say that, oh, this is going to make it too easy for the beginning of the game. Well, it will peter out. You will definitely plateau with this build, and you will either end up rebuilding your equipment or maybe making better equipment. But this not only shows that you can do this early. I mean, as you can see, I'm not even halfway to level 3 yet. You can do this early. You can do this. You can do this really early, and you can have a viable build that will build you through to. Literally, I've seen people go through the end game with this this build, so it's possible to do. I have mine set on hard difficulty, so I will probably be remaking this gear. I will probably be fine-tuning it. I will be trying to max out my blacksmith so that I can max this build in a way that makes it more efficient as I build this character. Hopefully, if you like this character, if you've liked what I've done today, if it's helped you in any way, please leave a like, subscribe, leave a comment. I do read those because I'm a really small YouTuber, and every little thing helps. Even if you're a jerk, I'll just laugh at you and type a comment. But like I said, if I've helped at all, you know, like, subscribe, share it. Hopefully this is still viable whenever the re-reckoning comes around. And I think that's about it. Just kind of rambling at this point. I don't know, Keith. Is there anything else? Is there anything else? Anything else I should come up with off the top of my head here? I can't think of anything. Lots of things to do in the reckoning. If anybody wants to see more of this, please comment. If anybody likes this stuff and wants to see more of it in preparation for the re-reckoning, I'm very excited. I don't sound very excited, but I'm so excited. I'm so excited. Remember, like, subscribe, tap that bell notification, do the things that the other YouTubers tell you to do, because I want those things for my channel as well. Peace.